Three guys just breezed through and scored over $1.5 million, while the robber just got blown away by a gust from Czech. Old Joe gazed at Czech, who was looking like he had an accident deep and thought about how to make some cash. The next day, Joe, our only witness, dropped some clues at the precinct since he was the only one who saw the robber's tattoo. Before long, the cops splashed the tattoo sketch in the news and threw in a bounty to sweeten the deal. A few days later, Joe's buddy saw in a paper that the cops were clueless about Czech's tattoo. Originally, the trio was just out for a stroll. Who knew the factory would pop in and drop the bomb about killing the pensions? Now that stirred the pot, Joe and the gang's retirement funds turned into a distant dream. Joe, with a worried look on his face and feeling deeply anxious, suggested that they could take the factory to court. Why not give it a try, right? Willie pointed out that lawsuits take forever. By the time they saw any cash, grass would be taller than they were. The factory knew they were time-strapped. That's why they dared to pull the rug. The three oldest had no choice but to keep working. Willie's been battling kidney failure. Dialysis used to keep him afloat, but now he more or less needs every penny to survive. Had never mentioned it to his family or pals. Bert was just trying to make some cash teaching sax lessons. His student, a sweet old lady, had a crush on him, but Bert was playing hard to get because his wallet was empty. Joe was in dire straits. He got a red alert from the bank. Subtitles. Willie and Bert might still have a way out, but old Joe was truly cornered. A few days afterwards, while they were having dinner together, Joe decided to share his entrepreneurial plan with them. Naturally, his buddies thought he was just joking around. Who knew Joe pulled out a red envelope from the bank? That hit them like a ton of bricks. Joe continued, "In 30 days, the bank is taking back my house. Instead of waiting to be kicked out, why not hit back right? If they succeeded, they could buy a cozy 2-bedroom in the graveyard to talk about a legacy. If they failed and got caught, they'd be paying for a stay at the youth hostel, free food and board. Plus, nobody picks on seniors, so honestly, at their age, robbing a bank practically pays for itself." After Joe's pitch, Willie realized it was his birthday. He has never wished for anything outrageous in his life, so why not embark on an adventure this time? That night, Joe couldn't sleep a wink and called Willie to brainstorm the bank heist. In the startup phase, sharing ideas is crucial, but Bert was feeling a bit more cautious. He thought these two were nuts, but couldn't withstand Joe's persuasion for long. After a brief mental struggle, Bert signed up, and the senior heist crew was born. However, they knew robbing a bank wasn't as easy as shooting the breeze, so they decided to start with a little practice run. Subtitles. Joe and Willie were in charge of robbing the supermarket, while Bert stayed outside to provide support. They weren't really targeting the cash register, just wanting to feel that sweet thrill of nicking something. Joe had no plan. He just stuffed whatever he found into his pockets, and Willie was busy snatching up all the snacks. Both of them were hopeless at this shoplifting gig, but Bert, bored outside, decided to join the fun. Anne, seeing him, turned into a bubbly sales assistant, leaving Bert totally red-faced. When he saw his buddies had grabbed enough goodies, he made a run for it, only to find Willie had already taken off. He arrived at the car with the beef almost falling out of his hand, only to discover that Bert was nowhere in sight. Finally, old Joe made his way out as well, and his gaze just happened to fall upon the old lady's electric mobility scooter. Joe zoomed off, snagged Willie, and plopped him in front of time to kick things into gear. Armed with baby formula, they staged a battle that left the female security guard speechless. "We can pull this off," Joe declared like an excited commander. The three confused guys ended up in a black room, and a wave of chaos ensued. The manager, bluntly, said this gig wasn't suited for their age. They really should downsize a bit. "Why did you even come in here? Did you steal anything?" Because we're a big group, can you not tell? The manager said, definitely don't want you guys pulling a heist here. Don't steal from Value Town. Roy flipped out, thinking, I wasn't even in on this. He revved the engine and zoomed out of the parking lot, while the other two realized they needed a mentor for this bank job. Leveraging connections, Joe dragged Willie to find his ex-son-in-law, who happened to be a weed dealer. I hope you can help me. What kind of project is this exactly?